Hello and welcome to today's video where we're going to be covering a new team I'm trying out in rank 8, a Toxicroak lead with Galvantula and Meganium in the back. So going into the first game here, Toxicroak lead into a shift tree, which is ideal. Just start countering it down. In comes the pancake. I try and time my swap to get Meganium in. Mistime it. That's okay. Put up the shield and swap in Meganium to farm here. It can eat the discharges, the mud bombs, and just farm its way down through the pancake. At this point, I hit Frenzy Plant and I just pop about 4 bubbles just to leave a little bit more farm on it for myself for whatever's coming back in next. Again, I'm almost charged to an Earthquake. And in comes Shift Tree. So I'm just gonna go straight Frenzy Plant into Shift Tree. Get to 2 before Shift Tree can get to a move. Which puts Shift Tree into the red. And I have 2 Pokemon in the back that don't mind Shift Tree. Toxicroak will eat it alive. Yeah, 2 counters by Shift Tree, and then in comes Registeel, and they give up. So that game I didn't have to use Galvantula, but this team I've designed it to counteract the first team I built, which you have seen in the video previous, which would have been the Ferrothorn Azumarill team. Again, this time Melmetal lead from my Toxicroak. It's brilliant. In comes Dugong, and I'm happy to stick it out. I know I can handle Melmetal in the back. And then I decided to eat the Icy Wind and Toxicroak, swap into Galvantula. Yeah, I'm going to beat an Icy Wind here too, but I mean, it's not going to make much of a difference to me. I'm going to be leaving Galvantula low. It's only going to get 1 attack off. Wishcash comes in, Discharge into it. I try to go for the Bug Buzz, and I get it off, which is brilliant. And that's the problem with Mudshot. Well, yes, it's not doing a lot of damage, but I've taken both shields off of the Wishcash. And at this point now I can come in, and the only thing I have to be careful of is a blizzard. So I put up the shield, and call it right. And the second I get it, I probably could have farmed a little bit more. Just have a little bit more energy coming in for that Registeel or that Melmetal. But I have a Mud Bomb ready on Toxicroak, and that does a lot of damage to Melmetal. And I get to the second Mud Bomb before Melmetal can throw a move. And that's the GG's. Moving into the third game here. And again, this Toxicroak lead meets Azumarill. This can be a positive matchup if you can land the Sludge Bomb. It's only a 1457 Azumarill, so if I land the Sludge Bomb, it'll do a little bit more than it should. And then I decide I'll swap out into Galvantula just to get a little bit of farm on it. Shield Hydro Pump. They bring in Wizcash as a counter, which is perfect because at this point Azu is almost dead, and Toxicroak can deal with their third. Meganium can deal with the Wishcash, and it can deal with the almost dead Azu. And he throws the Mud Bomb here, so I'm quite happy with that. So we're in even shield. I can just come in Meganium and watch out for a blizzard. So I just throw the Frenzy Plant, completely undercharged, expecting it to be shielded. He goes blizzard, I shield, stops in Scarm, and is met with Toxicroak. It's probably not ideal. I wouldn't mind keeping Galvantula for this. But yeah, I just couldn't get to the Earthquake. Not in enough time, yeah. No, I wouldn't have got there anyway. So, Scarm in the back is a bit of a problem if Galvantula is taken out earlier. But, you know, sometimes you have to take a risk in these matchups and you're going completely blind. So, moving into the fourth game, as I said. And Toxicroak into Umbreon, which is a positive matchup. And I have it up. In comes Deoxys. Staying probably a little too long here. Then with his Deoxys, he goes Psycho Boost onto my Meganium. So he's locked in now with Psycho Boost on his Deoxys. So his attack has fallen harshly. Twice. So I can land this Frenzy Plant. At this point I'm okay shielding because him with the lower attack just has a little bit of health left on my Meganium. So I go for the Frenzy Plant here. And he lets that through. He comes back out with Umbreon. And I go for another Frenzy Plant. And all in all, I'm just chipping away at the Umbreon. So he's throwing his energy here, which I don't mind. I can come back in Toxicroak and go Mud Bomb. And I almost have the second Mud Bomb ready. And he comes in Hypno, and it's met with Galvantula. At this point, I go for the Discharge in hopes to get the shield. I don't. I have to shield this. Fire Punch. So I build up again to the Bug Buzz, throw the Discharge. This time I get the shield. Hypno is left low, but has an attack. Throws the Fire Punch. And Umbreon has a last resort ready. And I can't get the Sludge Bomb off in time. So now Toxicroak with 1 HP. Literally 1 HP. I need to get the counter through before the confusion, and I probably needed a second counter. So GG's to that opponent. Very well played. So moving into the final game of this set. Toxicroak into a Bastiodon leads, another positive matchup. In comes Galvantula. So I wait, hoping to catch the Discharge, which I do. At this point now it becomes shield again. I have to be able to shield the Bug Buzzes. So with him shielding the Frenzy Plant, I'm happy to put the shield up. Discharge, that's fine. Again, Galvantula is very much a squishy Pokemon. So a little bit of lag there, but I think it was more just on the CMP rather than actual lag. And at this point, I get to Frenzy Plant before Galvantula get to its next move. And that'll take care of Galvantula. So back in comes Bastiodon. And I'm not going to get to the Earthquake, so I throw the Frenzy Plant. Although it's giving Bastiodon the energy, I'd much rather do that than have it swap out. And we lined up my Galvantula. Toxicroak can take the Flamethrower, could have taken the Smackdown. In comes Meganium. It's met with Galvantula. This is the reverse situation of the 2-shield scenario earlier, where Earthquake just won't KO, and Bug Buzz will do a lot of damage in return. KOing the Meganium, and then Bastiodon can smack down, and Toxicroak can counter down. So that's it. I got my 900th win, and went 3-2. So moving into the next set, this game was littered with lag. I win a positive lead with Toxicroak into Vigor Up. So shield up the Body Slam. As you can see, I'm tapping and there's nothing happening. Then everything catches up at once. So I let through the Body Slam and counter it down. Then comes Azu. I go Sludge Bomb. They let it through, and I get 2 counters off and go for a second Sludge Bomb. After farming Vigoroth, I had a ton of energy. So at this point, I can come in Meganium, eat the Ice Beam, and then met with Registeel. And this is what's great about this team: all 3 Pokemon can all beat Registeel in shield scenarios. So in the ones, Galvantula wins. So if he shields, or if my opponent shields here, I'll shield. At this point, I have to shield the next one here. But Volt Switch does enough damage that even if they shield this, I should be able to Volt Switch them down. Again, I'm tapping away, and then it's like I'm using an attack, they're using an attack. I don't know what's going on. They swap into Azu as I'm hammering Discharge. And we'll just wait for it to happen. And then out comes Discharge. So this is a big GG's to Niantic. As you can see, it's taking forever to let that Discharge through. And the Discharge does 0 energy. But Azu isn't attacking me back, so I can Volt Switch down. I'd be in the exact same situation I was in with energy. Back in comes Registeel, and I'm hitting Discharge again. And I think they just quit out of the game at that point. Discharge would have KO'd them there too. So, all good. And then it just takes ages to register the fact that I actually won that match. So, moving in, I think the rest of this set should be fine now. Again, this Toxicroak lead into another Vigoroth. So I'm going to play it out the same way as I did the last time. They swap out this time. And I decide to swap in on Frenzy Plant. Build up as much energy as I can on the Toxicroak. And now it becomes a Frenzy Plant off between the two Meganiums. So I'll eat this one. And throw one back in return. And then, so at this point I decide a shield is probably the best course of action. Don't want to go down to that Frenzy Plant. And I can just farm. So Vigoroth comes back in. Now I have very low HP, so I'm happy just throwing all my energy here. We get 2 Frenzy Plants off. I can come back in with Toxicroak, get a little bit more energy. Or I can come in with Galvantula and get some energy. I decided to shield expecting the Bulldoze. It was the Bulldoze. I don't think the Bulldoze would have KO'd there, but better to be safe than sorry. In comes Azu. And at this point, one of these two is going to take the shield. I can swap back in, go Sludge Bomb. And then I can build up. And at this point, they're almost at the Ice Beam, so I go Mud Bomb. Just get as much damage off with my Toxicroak as I can. Forcing and winning that CMP tie with their Ice Beam. Which, I mean, they tried to undercharge it to get some energy for Galvantula, but it didn't work out. So, moving into the third game of this set. The Toxicroak into Altaria. This isn't great, but the one thing I do like to do is just keep countering down, keep countering, shield this guy attack that comes in when you're just above half health. And then just before you go in, just as you go into the raid, just before, just after, throw the Sludge Bomb. They won't shield the first one, and then they might not think you get to a second one because you've taken so long to throw the first. This opponent does and shields, but again, this is Altaria and pretty low health, so I can just shield this Sky attack and Volt Switch them down. So yeah, it's taking a chunk of the energy, but Galvantula is so spammy and can hit so hard. Again, a little bit of lag here in this set, but I hit the Discharge, then the Volt Switches went through and registered. But I'm okay with taking that shield just before Galvantula goes down here to the Ice Punch. Meganium just needs one, and then Meganium versus Azu and the 0 shields in the back. Had Azu had that one shield, it would become a different story. But one Vine Whip advantage, and they just give up. So moving into the next game in this set. Toxicroak into a Deoxys lead. So this is very similar to the Azu lead. You want to start landing Sludge Bombs. You're both going to be resisting. And I always shield first just in case it's a Psycho Boost. So I'm baiting here with the Mud Bomb. And they call the bait, so then they go Sludge Bomb. And they just let Deoxys go, which I was very surprised with, because in comes Registeel. Yeah, and this is a game of if you have Deoxys in the front and Toxicroak destroys your back section, you need to double shield and take it out. So he swaps in Umbreon, so I bring in Meganium. All three of my Pokemon here could all beat Umbreon, they can all beat Registeel. So between the three of them, I'm confident that they can beat the back two down a shield. From when Registeel came in to meet Toxicroak. So now we're back to even shields. I can just go Frenzy Plant with Meganium. Again, the Meganium Umbreon matchups are always slow. So again, just come back in here to counter down, swap out to Galvantula just in case his move came off, and then in comes Registeel. So I'll throw the Discharge here, and I should be able to volt switch down before I faint for a GG's. And I decide to throw the Discharge just because I can. So moving into the final game of the set. And Toxicroak gets an Alolan Raichu lead. So this is a Thundershock Alolan Raichu. And just a heads up to people, this is not how you want to play with Alolan Raichu. If you want Thundershock, fine. But while charging and swapping, okay. So now you are locked into Altaria. You eat a Sludge Bomb. At this point, I'll double shield the Toxicroak. Go for the second Sludge Bomb. And he lets it through again. Now, he's keeping his shields for his Alolan Raichu. I can get to the Mud Bomb here, which I'm quite happy with. I have no issue. And he throws again. He throws Grass Knot to get rid of Toxicroak. Okay, I'm not upset with that. So in comes Meganium. Now, both my Pokemon in the back can both eat the Wild Charges. Well, the first Wild Charge comfortably. So he swaps into Venusaur. Which, I mean, at this point I'm slightly worried. He lets it through, and then I go Galvantula. I'm going to be resisting everything. So he goes Sludge Bomb. Sorry, he's neutral the Sludge Bomb, but still. I get the Discharge off. So here he is now again keeping his shield for Alolan Raichu. And he throws the Wild Charge here. Keeping in mind the first Wild Charge didn't do enough to KO. Now you're lowering your defense. Better off to do 2 or 3 Thundershocks and then throw it. So that's not how you want to play with Alolan Raichu. But GG's to my opponents there. If you enjoyed that video, please like and subscribe for more Silph Arena and GoBattle League content. Thank you.